Coming up on this edition of Carolina Insider. One Gamecock Club athletics team is gaining popularity and selling out their tickets in minutes. Find out what brought the only Anne Frank house in North America right here to the University of South Carolina's campus. But first, hear what former university president Robert Caslin
alumni from the University of California
has to say about his time at the University of South Carolina. Carolina Insider starts.
Hello, and thank you for joining us. I'm Alexa Daly. Our top story today, the Columbia City Council has extended its citywide face mask policy. The unanimous vote yesterday extended the policy into December because COVID numbers remain high. Mayor Steve Benjamin also continues to encourage vaccinations to help contain the virus. As we know, current Mayor Steve Benjamin is not running for re-election this term after holding 3 consecutive terms in office. Tonight at 7, you get another chance to hear from the mayoral candidates. All 4 are participating in a public forum hosted by the state newspaper. The forum will include discussions on public safety, economic development, and several questions submitted by Richland County students. You can watch it on Facebook, YouTube, or the state's website. More than 4 months after resigning, former USC President Bob Caslin is getting new attention from remarks he made this week in an interview with the Post and Courier. In the piece, Caslin said, "The biggest regret in my life is that I went to the University of South Carolina. If I had to do it all over again, I would have never gone to the University of South Carolina." His remarks sparked plenty of buzz on campus.
As far as my impressions of him, it only keeps getting worse, so.
I think it's a little dramatic. I wouldn't call USC hostile at all. I think it's a great place. I think maybe he was being a little dramatic.
If he would have stuck around, things could have got better. But honestly, you can't blame the guy with how much hostility there was on this campus for him.
The former USC president told the Post and Courier he still feels the same way 5 months later. While Caslin's chapter as USC's president has come to a close, former and now interim USC President Harris Pastides gets to see the result of a partnership he made back in 2018. Reporter Troy Dassing has the story on how the first Anne Frank house in North America made its way to USC's campus.
Nestled between the Capstone and Klos building on the University of South Carolina's campus is the first Anne Frank house in all of North America. While it's no small feat that the university has partnered with such a prestigious historical organization, the question has to be asked, why Columbia, South Carolina? Tour guide and graduate assistant at the Anne Frank Center, Diana Sorrell, said that it's all thanks in part to one important university official.
It's hugely thanks to Dr. President Pastides. He was also in very good terms with Dr. Doris Stevick, who was one of our external colleagues here in the U.S., in South Carolina.
The Anne Frank House director visited campus, and our president visited the Anne Frank House. It set the stage for kind of a spontaneous idea that came up in a conversation with the president in 2018.
And with the willingness of many to get something on campus pertaining to the Anne Frank house, it all came down to 4 words.
Dr. Pastides' eyes lit up and he said, "I have a house."
His eyes lit up and he said, "I have a house."
Dr. Pastides had a house and was ready to put it to good use. I had an opportunity to talk with Dr. Pastides and hear about his passion to make the house on campus a reality.
We had a guest, the director of the Anne Frank House in Amsterdam. His name is Ronald Leopold. He told me that there were just a few Anne Frank Center affiliates around the world, but there was nothing in North America. And I kind of blurted out, why not here?
So while many are still getting to know the Anne Frank House, its significance to the Columbia area and for South Carolina is a cherished one and is a place open to all. For Carolina Insider, I'm Troy Dassing.
Gamecock hockey is gaining traction on and off the ice. Sold-out rinks and thousands of views shows the growing interest in the sport. Here with that story in today's Garnet Report is Mac Hardy. Mac?
Thanks, Alexa. The Gamecock hockey team is off and running in their new season after beating Clemson last Friday 6-5. The Gamecocks played in front of a sellout crowd at their home rink, had over 2,000 people watching the live stream at home. The team also has a huge social media following. Cock Hockey has more than 13,000 followers on their TikTok page, making them one of the most followed college hockey teams on the app. The massive following has generated a lot of popularity for the team, sparking interest from people who don't usually follow hockey. The team heads up to Knoxville for their next games against Tennessee this Friday and Sunday. Back to you, Alexa.
Thanks, Mac. That's it for this edition of Carolina Insider, a student production here in the Kennedy Greenhouse studio in the School of Journalism and Mass Communications. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here Friday.